What is an XRP ETP? Because they're officially being traded right now with Fidelity in Europe. VeChain sets new record for number of transactions processed. And probably the biggest piece of news that we're going to be going over is the Securities Exchange Commission, known as the SEC, posts on their X account that they have approved all spot Bitcoin ETF applications that have been submitted to them. But it actually turns out to be a hack. So, what are the implications of this? Make sure you guys tune in all the way to the end of this video to find out all the details. Hey guys, it's Ryan with Big Dog Investing. Thank you guys for tuning into my channel. If you guys could do a couple of things for me, if you guys can go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you guys have not done so already. Click the bell notification down below so YouTube can send you guys notifications whenever I release videos. Watch my videos all the way to the end. If you guys could share my videos and share my channel with anyone, I'm trying to grow my channel as much as I can. I definitely need your guys' help in doing so. Getting started, today's going to be Tuesday, January 9th. The total market cap for all cryptocurrency right now is $1.69 trillion. This is a 1.40% decrease on the day today. Fear and greed index right now, we are at a 73. We're still looking pretty good. Bitcoin right now is currently trading at $45,678, Ethereum $2,423, and right now XRP is at 56.71 cents. Looking at our Bitcoin chart, though, we're going to look what Bitcoin happened today. So going up and leading up to this, Bitcoin was trading at roughly about $46,500 to $46,900. Then all of a sudden, the post went out that the spot Bitcoin ETF got approved by the SEC, and we climbed all the way up to close to 48,000 at $47,893. Then about 10 to 15 minutes later, Gary Gensler, who's the chair of the SEC, posts on his X account that it was actually a hack, and the price of Bitcoin dropped drastically, bottoming at $45,430. So we're going to go ahead and talk about this later on in the video, but I just wanted to get a little bit of a clarification of price action first. Now, biggest gainers and losers on the day today. We got some big gainers. We got EHEX and HEX right now as our biggest gainers, up 41.5% and 37.3%. Now, their founder, Richard Hart, is under investigation right now, so we'll see what happens with that. I'm not going to mess with this just due to that. And there's a lot of controversy with him taking a lot of consumer funds to live his lavish lifestyle, so we'll see what happens. Lido Dow right now is up 20.9%. Biggest losers on the day today, we got Stacks right now down 9.3%. We got Engine down 8.7%. And then we got SEI right now currently down 7.6%. Getting into our news, though, with this, we'll go right here. President Biden will pull out of the presidential race over poor health, a top JP Morgan strategist predicts. And they're predicting anywhere between Super Tuesday and the November election is when they assume that he will be backing out, and then the DNC will actually come in and find his replacement. So we'll see about that. I just wanted to cover that for some further clarification. Now, this was kind of controversial right here. Reporters caught on hot mic joking about a JFK style Trump getting rid of at a DC court ahead of his immunity appeal hearing. I want you guys to, go look down in the comments. Everything's posted down there, but this is kind of ridiculous that reporters are right now joking about this stuff, about a JFK style getting rid of our former president because they don't want him elected. Another thing that came out was Fannie Willis accused of hiring a man she has had a romantic relationship with to prosecute the former president and play a prominent role in the election interference case, bombshell documents claim. So she's been romantically involved with this guy right here has his own attorney's office, and then they use taxpayer-funded dollars to hire his attorney's office to investigate the former president. If that's not a conflict of interest, I don't know what is. I wanted to point this out, though. Tesla has just announced an upgraded Model 3 that's going to be available in North America, so you guys can see all of its cool new features. To me, it kind of looks the exact same, but on the inside, there's a little bit of new features. We saw in our last video a lot of the new Tesla reports and how well Tesla's doing. And we can see a nice price increase, in my opinion. Again, no financial advice with anything that I say, but we could see a nice price increase with Tesla, in my opinion, especially because Walmart is planning on actually coming out with new supercharging stations at most of their grocery store chains. Now, this was really interesting. Warner Brothers has partnered with an AI company, Futureverse, to make Ready Player One a real thing. The Readyverse is being called the definitive destination for fans to explore their favorite stories and IP in the metaverse. So we'll see what happens with this, but in my opinion, this is really big news for the metaverse. We haven't seen a lot come out recently, especially due to the last price correction in the last bull run. A lot of NFTs and metaverse projects have gone dark, in my opinion. So we'll see how this plays out in the next bull run. Right now, I'm not currently messing with any of this stuff. But what we talked about was VeChain sets a new record. So 2 million transactions and counting for VeChain or VET, which is the token. I'm super bullish on VET, in my personal opinion. Again, do your guys' own independent research for buying any of these coins. But if we look at VeChain compared to Hedera, for example, Hedera has processed more than 26 billion total transactions, and this was in November 1st of 2023. So they're well past this 26 billion. They're probably close to 30 billion transactions. They used to have a counter. I couldn't find it before I found posted this video, but I wanted to post it really quick, especially due to what happened earlier today. Now, there's 1,500 blocks remaining until the Bitcoin halvening. We were predicting about a 420, so an April 20th, 2024 halvening cycle. As of right now, due to the blocks being unlocked, we're seeing a Bitcoin halvening cycle a day early. We'll see what happens with this, though, in my opinion. We could see a April 17th or 18th, or we could even see an April 15th. It just depends on a lot of different factors going into this with the miners. Now, I wanted to post some XDC news. So, Sonaverse has integrated the XDC network, bringing its expertise in Web3 data infrastructure. I'm super bullish on XDC as a coin and also on the XFIN network because that's what they use as their network, and they use the XDC token on that. In my opinion, it's a really good coin to look out for. Now, Coin Club Quincy, he's one of the huge XFIN guys in the XDC network. If you guys want to give him a follow, you guys can. But he talks about how important XRP is and what makes it special, and that it has basically its own network that relies on a bunch of different factors, and that he is very confident and very bullish on the XRP token. For some reason, a lot of my videos haven't been playing sound, so I'm not going to post this or play it right now, but it will be posted down in the comments for you guys to listen to. Now, when we talked about Fidelity, they have an ETP, which is an ETP is an exchange or an enterprise traded product, and they've traded with Fidelity. So this is going on right now. It's an enterprise traded product. I'm sorry, but this is being traded in Fidelity right now in Switzerland. But this has been going on since 2019. So some of these people right here, Digital Perspectives posted this on January 7th. Now, a lot of people are super bullish on this, reposting, talking about how this is going to be super awesome because there's going to be one of these going to be here in the United States. And that's what they're like kind of hinting towards. But if this has been going on in Switzerland since 2019, we're not going to be seeing a spot ETF for XRP, in my opinion, just based on this. We have to wait for a Bitcoin spot ETF approval before anything with XRP or Ethereum comes out. But make sure you guys do your guys' own independent research, because a lot of people will see this and start buying up coins left and right. Now, Gary Gensler, who's the head of the SEC or the chair of the SEC, says that here's a thread of some things to keep in mind if you guys are considering investing in crypto assets. Number one, those offering crypto asset investments / services may not be complying with applicable laws, including federal securities laws. Investors in crypto asset securities should understand that there may be deprived of key info and other important projections in connection with their investment. Investments in crypto assets also can be exponentially risky and are often volatile. A number of majority of platforms in crypto assets have become insolvent and or lost value. Investments in crypto assets continue to be subjective to significant risk. Fraudsters continue to exploit the rising popularity of crypto assets to lure retail investors into scams. These investments continue to be replete with fraud, bogus coin offerings, Ponzi and pyramid schemes, and outright theft, where a project promoter disappears with investors' money. So we've seen a lot of this, especially with a lot of influencers and celebrities, with the fraud going on, or Ponzi schemes, taking a project, saying it's their own, and then taking investors' money. That's what the SEC needs to be doing with their job. Instead, they're going out with these bogus lawsuits against crypto asset companies, crypto asset exchanges, and basically saying that everything is considered security, even though he says that securities laws right here, they're violating securities laws. Yet when he goes in front of Congress, he can't basically say that Ethereum, the number 2 asset by the number two asset by market cap is considered a security or not. He won't come out and say it. He wants to basically be able to pick and choose winners and losers, in my opinion, in the markets. Now, here's a little article if you guys want to read more about this, if you guys want to read about more being cautious. But Paul Grewal, who's the chief legal officer over at Coinbase, tells Judge Shelby in Debtbox, this was a case that happened and it's still going on, but this was about last week, that this SEC seriously and deeply regrets its repeated misrepresentation and blames the staff that the same day and today that its chair dog whistles, tries, and croaks to the same staff and others, how can anyone count on regret seriously? So he's basically saying that the SEC had to apologize to the courts for their misrepresentation of wording to basically set Debtbox violated securities laws and basically tried to freeze a lot of their assets. Now, the judge put a lot of restrictions on the SEC with this. And in my opinion, this was really great, but the SEC said that they needed all of those removed because it basically hinders their ability to do things. Yet, you guys are supposed to be there to protect regular investors, not go after these crypto asset companies and try to freeze their assets to hinder their business. Now, Spot Bitcoin ETF applications, Little Watcher Guru News, submitted their final registrations for securities amendments. VanVec, Bitwise, Fidelity, Valkyrie, Franklin, ARK Invest, Grayscale, BlackRock, Wisdom Tree, and Investico Galaxy are all ones that have their applications currently submitted to the SEC. Now, this was really interesting right here because this is what we were talking about, and this is probably the biggest piece of news that we're going to be going over, is Gary Gensler says that the SEC's account was hacked and it's not approved any Bitcoin. So this right here was the Securities Exchange Commission, or the SEC's approval tweet or post, whatever you guys want to call it. Today, the SEC grants approval for Bitcoin ETFs for listing on all registered national securities exchanges. The approved Bitcoin ETFs will be subject to ongoing surveillance and compliance measures to ensure continued investor protection. Now, right after this was posted, probably about 10-15 minutes later, Gary Gensler comes out and posts on his X account saying that the SEC Gov Twitter, should say X account, was compromised and an unauthorized tweet was posted, should say post, and that the SEC has not approved the listing and trading of spot Bitcoin exchange traded products. So there was that market manipulation where we showed that Bitcoin traded from roughly about 45 or 46,500 about 46,900, and then drastically came up to about $48,000 before correcting about $3,000 drop. So that was really interesting for that to come out, in my opinion. Obviously, this looked like market manipulation to me, but we'll see. A lot of mainstream media was posting about this, so I wanted to share that the CNBC posted about this on theirs. And then there was an investigation that came out. So the SEC that said they were going to investigate their staff. Twitter X came out and said that we are going to do an investigation ourselves. And they came out and says that we can confirm that the account at Securities Gov was compromised and we have completed a preliminary investigation. Based on our investigation, our compromise was not due to any breach of X's systems, but rather due to the unidentified individual obtaining control over a phone number associated with the SEC Gov account through a third party. We can also confirm that the account did not have a two-factor authentication enabled at the time of the account was compromised. We encourage all users to enable this extra layer of security. More info on tips on how to keep your guys' account secure can be found in our help center. So they didn't have a factor authentication, so it was easy to get hacked. Now, in my opinion, this is still market manipulation, even if there was a hack, because they have to do things to protect themselves. But tweets don't age well, or posts don't age well. Gary Gensler comes out and says, this is a reminder to secure your financial accounts as well as protect against identity theft and fraud. Remember to use strong paraphrases and passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, and keep account alerts on. So obviously they knew about the account alerts because they changed this really quick, and they obviously didn't come out with new good passwords, but they didn't set this authentication. And this came out on October 24th, 2023. So not too long ago he came out with this, but they couldn't do it themselves. Now, Brad Garlinghouse, who's the CEO over at Ripple, says days like this remind me that the SEC should be investigating itself for multiple things. And number two, crypto Twitter remains undefeated in memes. If you guys seen a bunch of those out there, I'm not going to get into it. Now, Stuart Alderati, who's the chief legal officer over at Ripple, says per its own rules, within 4 days, the SEC should disclose the incident's nature and scope and the impact on market, along with descriptions of its processes for assessing, identifying, and preventing such cybersecurity threats. So he linked their little press conference right here, and he also probably listed their rules right there also that they have to follow. So this is a short story. Careful for what you read on the internet. The best source of the information about the SEC is the SEC. And this was posted on October 16th. So even the SEC said that they're the best source, yet they had their account compromised, and obviously there shows that they're not the best source. A lot of speculation, though, is that on Wednesday, so tomorrow, a new approval is actually going to be coming out. VanVex Spot Bitcoin ETF has been listed on the DTCC under ticker HOLD. Obviously, HOLD is a very popular one because you want to hold all your guys' cryptocurrency. And Wisdom Tree was also listed on this DCT ticker under BTCW. So we see these two applications have a ticker symbol already posted right now. And then also, Valkyrie co-founder says he expects an approval on Wednesdays and trading on Thursday for this. And then a spot Bitcoin ETFs are expected to be approved according to mainstream media as well. In my opinion, I still think that the approval will happen. Put down in the comments what you guys think. Will this be approved tomorrow? And will it actually infect the markets in a buy a rumor, sell the news event? Thank you guys for tuning into my video. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment down below, and I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. If you guys can invest with the big dogs, stay on the porch. Thank you guys, and have a good one.